Hey guys, what is up and welcome back to my channel. If you happen to be new here, my name is Jess. As you guys can tell from the title of today's video, I'm going to be doing something with the Panels Book Club. If you guys are not aware of what the Panels Book Club is, I will leave a link for the Goodreads group down below, as well as Natalie's channel. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of trouble speaking today and I don't really know why. I think it's because I haven't been awake that long. So each month we do read a different book, and then there are video as well as just text prompts within the Goodreads group. Today I wanted to sit down and film the video, and we did read a bunch of different books this month. The book that we actually read that this is based off of is That Blue Sky Feeling, which is a manga that I actually really enjoyed. It is about two boys who kind of start to slowly fall in love, one of which is gay, the other one doesn't really know if he's gay, and he's trying to like dip his toes into things and sort of feel it out. It's a really cute story. I did struggle a little bit with the story. I felt like I had a lot of trouble connecting with the characters, which seems kind of normal though because we are very, very different, but I still really did like the story, and I will be picking up volume 2 when that is available. But I wanted to sit down and do today's prompt, and today's prompt is just discussing your first book boyfriend or girlfriend. And honestly, my first book boyfriend that I really fell in love with be Ron Weasley. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people can probably say this as well. I think that Ron was the first boyfriend material that we read about in books, and I think the reason why I felt this way is because I didn't really, I don't know, enjoy Harry so much growing up. I felt like he was kind of rude and sort of spoiled, and I think even then I knew I didn't like the chosen one kind of trope, so I wasn't a huge fan of him, but I did absolutely love Ron. And I think another thing that really helped with that is they were about the same age as us, and I don't know, I think I just really would have dated somebody like him, and even now I am married to someone who is very similar to Ron. The only difference is I wouldn't say Ron is particularly stupid, but he's not necessarily the smartest person in the group. There's a lot of times where he's trying to copy off of Hermione. There's a lot of times where he does struggle in class. And the only difference really between him and my husband is incredibly smart. But I feel like Ron really set me up for who I was going to be with when I got older, because Ron is very funny. He's also very caring and kind. I think that's what really drew me to him. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you'll know that I'm actually rereading the series right now, and I did notice, I just finished Chamber of Secrets, and I did notice the first 2 books, I didn't really like Ron. And I don't know if I felt like that when I was younger, but I identify a lot more with Hermione now as an adult, and I think that I see a lot of mistreatment of her from Ron to the point where it's pretty cruel, and I don't really like him in the first 2 books. And I don't, like I said, I don't know if I realized that when I was younger because I wasn't a fan of Hermione. I may not have necessarily noticed her mistreatment because she also really kind of bugged me as well, and I feel like that was kind of normal for a lot of people. She was supposed to kind of be the character that bugged people, but like I said, I identify with her so much now that I think that would have really put me off of Ron. Like if Ron was a real person, I would have probably not really talked to him because of the way he treated her. But I still really do love Ron. Traits that I really like from him are obviously like, he's really, I don't know, for me, like there's times in the book where he does stuff or stuff happens and he's really terrified of it that so sounds like something I would do. Like I am one of those people who wants to be fearless, and a lot of people think that I'm fearless and that I'm not afraid of certain things, but I am really afraid of a lot of things. Like I do watch a lot of horror movies and I read a lot of horror books, but honestly, there are a lot of things that happen in real life that would scare me. Like when they go to really do anything where their lives are put in danger, Ron's really uncomfortable with it. But when it comes to times where he needs to do things for the sake of his friends, he's the first one to do it. Like in the first book when they do the giant chess match, Ron is the one to say, I'm going to be the one to sacrifice myself for this because you guys are better at the other challenges that we think we're going to face. And I think that's something that I would realistically do, and I think that's another reason why I really loved him. But I do honestly value his courage, and I value, you know, when he can be courageous. I do value also that he's incredibly funny. I think that Ron is really, really funny, and I, as an adult now, kind of realize that he's sort of put in there as comedic relief, but because he is part of that trio, it's not done in like a deprecating kind of way. I think he's just supposed to be the funny character, and I love humor. I think that humor in characters is my very, very favorite. I think that of any trait of characters in books, I would say humor is the one thing that really makes me love a novel and really makes me love a character, especially if they are bad boys, but also very sweet. I have a ton of book boyfriends that are like that. Like they're very they're bad, but they're also really funny. Like, I like those kinds of characters, and I think for Ron, he was just such a pure character to me. At least when I read it when I was little, I thought he was very pure, and that is why I really, really liked him. So this is going to be a pretty short video because I feel like a lot of people can probably relate to why Ron Weasley is their book boyfriend. Leave in the comments down below if he was your book boyfriend and why you ended up falling in love with him. There's so many reasons I think that I just really was attracted to Ron, and even when they cast the character in for the movies, I really liked the character that they chose as well, the actor that they chose. I think they did that really well. I think that he was pretty realistic to how I would have pictured Ron, as well as I really like, I forgot to mention this, I really like his relationship with his family. Now, obviously, the relationship with his family is pretty tumultuous because he is, you know, kind of like the middle child, like towards the end of the group. And I feel like for me, I could kind of relate to that. I am from a really big family. I have 9 brothers and sisters. Well, I have 8 brothers and sisters. I'm one of 9. And I really felt that. I really felt like the kind of like you get the leftovers. I got the leftovers from my older sisters, and like my, you know, like hand-me-downs and stuff went to my younger siblings. And I think I just really related to Ron at the time, especially since my parents had just gotten a divorce when the books came out, like not too soon before that. And it was still something that I was kind of dealing with. And then I started reading Harry Potter and reading about, you know, younger siblings and like being in the middle and dealing with that. And then my divorced parents started having other babies. So I really related to Ron in that way as well. And I feel like we would have really gotten along and been able to talk about that. And I feel like we would have been able to lament together. And even though obviously I love my siblings, I do still struggle with them like Ron does. And I did struggle with like my mom, like Ron did, like he thought his mom was kind of clingy, but obviously he loved her kind of thing. And I think that is another reason why I really loved Ron. I feel like we had a lot in common, and I feel like a lot of people can probably say that about him. I don't know. I just really, to this day, still love Ron Weasley. I want to be a part of the Weasley clan. I really want to be able to hang out with them. And when it comes to the first book boyfriend or girlfriend that I ever really had, I would definitely 100% have to go with Ron Weasley. All right, guys, so that is it for today's video. Like I said, leave down below your first book boyfriend or girlfriend and what made you fall in love with them. I'd actually be really interested to know, because I think a lot of people can say, or at least a lot of people that I know can say a character from Harry Potter, but I would like to know other characters. I would like to know when you fell in love with them, what made you fall in love with them. I think it's a really interesting topic to cover, but I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and think about subscribing, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!